Okay, we're happy to have you all here this morning, and at this time, we will have a prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pray first, Kelly.
Sure. Bow with me, please. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for all the blessings that you continue to give us. We pray that you will lead us through this difficult time and be with our families and those that are on the front lines. We just pray your arm of protection. Go with us, guide us, and direct us to make the right decisions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll call the meeting of the Cabell County Commission to order, and the first item of business is approval of the April 23rd, 2020 regular commission agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made to approve, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the minutes for the regular commission meeting, April 9th, 2020.
So moved.
That you all are there.
So moved.
Second.
And the motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no, motion carries. Next item is to approve erroneous assessments, land consolidation, split tickets, probate documentation, county clerk's probate office.
Move.
Motion's been made.
Second.
It's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Approval of purchase orders 297363 through 297518, jackets. Monthly payments to Fifth Third for fuel card purchases, ACH drafts for weekly claims experience administration costs, Highmark, handwritten check to Unum for $6,649.44, and a handwritten check to Guardian for $20,109.20.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on in, we have citizens registered to speak, which we have none. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on anything that's not on our agenda? If you'd like to, you're welcome to do so. Okay. Then we'll move to a resolution, Cabell County Commission, reclassification of Jerry Lynn Beckett as a full-time planner. Employment of Valerie Renee Bogus, full-time EMT, Ryan Otto Sidewitz, per diem EMT, Brian Edward Ash, per diem EMT.
So moved.
Motion's
Second.
been made, it's been seconded. Gordon, can you enlighten me on what this position is that Jerry Beckett's gonna do?
And Jerry's been doing the position per diem, and with all that's going on, he's kicked way over on hours. It's the same thing he's been doing, it's become a full-time job.
Okay, I just don't think I ever heard it called a planner before, and I didn't know what a planner was.
Initially, that's what it was the planner position, and basically what he's doing right this minute is he's coordinating all the PPE that comes within the county and coordinating with the state, trying to get over some of our challenges that we have.
Okay.
Well, he's a good man.
Don't tell him that.
No, please don't.
Let the minutes reflect that.
We have to live with him. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item is a resolution, Cabell County Commission, in the matter of the public test of the early voting equipment. And that's
So
just,
move.
motion's been made,
Second.
it's been seconded, is there any discussion? That's simply just setting the dates for doing that, and it's something we have to do by law, so we really don't have much choice.
I think that one and the next one both are a result of the election day meeting.
Changes, yeah, because we'd already set the dates
Right.
before, and now that all that has changed.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next,
That one's May the 20th, and the next one is on June the 2nd, is that correct?
that's correct. Both of them at 10 a.m. Okay, and the next one is the same thing in the matter of the public test of the election tabulation equipment, just a different date.
Kelly's turn.
So moved.
Motion's been made,
Second.
it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no, motion carries.
Aye.
Next, we have approval of the software systems contract for hardware and software systems on IBM AS400. Beth, you want to enlighten us on that?
Yes, this is a contract we enter into every year with Software Systems Incorporated out of Morgantown, and it's maintenance on the, and software on the AS400, which runs the tax office and the assessor's real estate software.
Was there conversation that is becoming towards obsolescence as far as electronic things go anymore, or is that still perfectly serviceable for what we're doing with it?
You're talking about the AS400?
Yeah,
You want to speak on that?
Can you
We
talk
went
about
through-
any,
We went through this a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
that was by far the best option, and actually it's new, it's what, 2 or 3 years old, we just bought a new one.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Jim?
no, I didn't.
The AS400 we have is fairly new. We just bought it about 3 years ago, and it was the best route to go at the time.
Okay, great. So moved.
Okay, motion's been made.
Second?
It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
no. Motion carries. Next item is notice of the primary election day change. Cabell County will observe primary election day on Tuesday, June 9th.
Oh, goody.
So moved.
Motion's been made. I'll second that motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item is a special funds budget revision, CCEMS Civil Defense Fund 24, revision number 1.
I'll talk to those two, just one of those.
Moving money around to take care of Jerry, take care of his salary.
Okay.
So moved.
Long and the short of it.
Second.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is a special funds budget revision, CCEMS Fund 27, revision number 2,
PPE.
PPE.
I'll move to
Gotta pay for
approve.
that. Motion's been made,
Second.
it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next is a resolution, Cabell County Commission for a county budget revision, and this is number 10.
The assessor's office moving money around in his line items.
Move to
So
approve.
moved.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is a resolution and a state budget revision, number 10.
And this is a state revision, the prosecutor's office, increasing, the federal grants revenue side and then the prosecuting attorney's salary side for the victim advocates and the VAWA grants. Bless you.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have discussion and action on the COVID-19 Pandemic County Block Grant, which there's been so much discussion about.
Yes.
But at this time, I'm going to defer to Gordon Mary.
Okay. We had talked, or I talked to each one of y'all individually about possibly acquiring the machine that the National Guard is using to decon the ambulances, PTA buses. I'm not gonna get into it really deep because I'm way over my head and I have someone that's much more knowledgeable. Brian is with the National Guard, he's been with us since the get-go. I would try to say the last name, but I'll butcher it.
Thomasek.
Brian Thomasek.
And Brian's the one that's come down. Obviously, the Guard's been very supportive of us. We've done, I think, at the end of the day,
Well, I watched them do it on TV in Kanawha County.
Yes.
They were doing one of the buses where they taped it up and
Yes,
put the
ma'am.
machine
So that was our
inside.
first site. We're basically using, it's called a Curus decontamination system. It uses a 7% aerosol hydrogen peroxide fog. It is a dry fog, so we use it. It's safe for electronics, fabrics. We've been using it in the ambulances, police cars, and city buses. This is the second site we set up at the TTA facility, and we've been doing Gordon's ambulances as well as the TTA's buses. It achieves a log 6 kill for various types of pathogens, ranging from influenza, HIV, coronaviruses, strep, E. coli, rhinoviruses to TB, and the hardest to kill bacterial spores. It did achieve a log 6 kill and a tripart soil load for C. diff, which is very, very difficult to do, and the system did achieve that. Basically, it's a 3-phase system. The first phase is the fog phase, where depending on the cubic footage of what we're trying to sterilize, the machine will automatically fog for a predetermined amount of time to a set ppm level, or parts per million of hydrogen peroxide. The next 30 minutes, it will maintain and pulse to maintain that ppm level. And then the last phase is dissipation, where the hydrogen peroxide will break down into water and oxygen. So it leaves no residue, there's no odors, it's non-corrosive, there's no wipe, no rinse, so it's very good system.
And hydrogen peroxide's the only thing you use in it?
That's
In
the
the
only active ingredient, correct? There's other ingredients in there that are proprietary to Curus,
How do you spell Curus?
C-U-R-I-S,
Do you know where it's manufactured or who?
out of Florida. Yes, ma'am. So I got to fly down 2 weeks ago on Friday to procure 2 of these machines, the first 2 for our state. So I got to meet with the CEO, talk to her staff. They're very friendly, very knowledgeable. It is made in Florida, so it's made in America, and we've been using those machines vigorously.
Is that the name of the company?
Curus
Curus?
Decontamination.
Okay.
Yes. And they have distributors set up under the names of Pathogo and Pathogen.
Gend?
Yeah, P-A-T-H-O-G-E-N-D.
G-E-N-D.
The systems that the National Guard purchased, we currently have 4 of them right now. We have the extended nozzle foggers, which run about $21,000 a piece. There's a standard fogger, which costs $17,000, and the difference is the machines, the extended nozzles can be used for vehicles, it can be used for aircraft, buildings, and so it's very versatile. The solution that we use is called pure oxide. It is EPA registered, and the EPA registration number is 93324-1, and that runs $405 for a 4-gallon case.
$405.
$405
For how many?
for a 4-gallon case. Yep.
And how long will that last?
So that'll depend on what you want to use it for.
Yeah.
For the buses, like 35-foot buses, we can do roughly about 4 or 5 buses per gallon. Ambulances, depending on if they're the smaller Sprinter type or the boxier ones, we can get it between 7 and 9 of those ambulances. Police cruisers, we can probably do closer to 12 per gallon. We are using it in a 40-foot Connex currently to sterilize N95 masks. And basically 1 gallon of the solution will do up to 10,000 cubic feet. And our Connex is just under 3,000 cubic feet, so we can essentially do about 3 runs per gallon.
Is there any other, are there any other companies that make it besides the one in Florida?
So they're the first I know that use an aerosolized hydrogen peroxide, where it's different than like a steam fog or something, because it doesn't require heat. And since it's a dry fog, it can be used in a wide variety of uses that's outside of the medical community or science community. Because normally these machines have been used particularly to sterilize medical equipment or in science facilities to sterilize some of their equipment.
Her question is, because you want to be sure, we would have to have a bid if there are multiple companies that provide this.
There are hydrogen peroxide vaporizers out there, but to my knowledge, is the only aerosolized one.
Okay.
And it's portable, so it's a 36-pound unit, about the size of a carry-on suitcase. So you can check it in the airlines. I know the company has done that multiple times. There is a online management system for them where it's app controlled, which is the ones that we purchased through the National Guard. It uses their Curious System Data Management, or CSDM, and that is a yearly subscription of about $1,000. But you purchase that once, and all the machines that you use can link up. You can essentially, if you want to do an entire building or a hospital or something, you can link up to 20 of these machines together to follow all at once.
So could counties piggyback off of the state's subscription
Absolutely,
and not have to pay that? Or-
yes. That I'm not sure about. I know that each.
I'm not sure we'd want to do that.
Yeah, so on the back end of the system, it's programmed, a user can input certain dimensions, length, width, and height of whatever they're trying to sterilize. And we can input that as a location or a room. So if there's a building that that individual is trying to service frequently, you can load that on any of the machines, and it can do that through the app. Or you don't need the app, and it'll still work with the 2 buttons on the machine itself.
Did you all purchase that on a state contract? Do you
I
know?
believe it's emergency P card, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we talked about that.
What he had that I found really interesting, he went ahead and basically reconned all the vehicles and measured them. And he has like a little picture of an ambulance, and it says like Sprinter. So he can just take the machine, set it in, hit his iPad, and it works. Or the bus, you know, like, what was it, 30-some foot?
Yeah, we use a 35-foot bus and a 30-foot bus currently programmed.
And he's got all that pre-programmed, so there would take time to program that, but once it's programmed, basically you just pull the cruiser in, the ambulance, put the machine in. It's impressive to watch it work, it really is.
Well, I just saw it on TV, but I thought it was very impressive even that way, because it was just amazing how it operated.
But it's not.
And it's very user-friendly, which is, we went this route for our soldiers to use. So somebody can program it, and any soldier essentially can take an iPad, input some of the key data that it needs, and the machine will do the rest.
I mean, I'm intrigued by what you said, that it can clean influenza, HIV, strep, E.
Yes.
coli, TB. Said this could be something that could be used year-round
Absolutely.
on school buses to protect kids, even during just the regular flu season. Senior centers with the senior vans, or first responders. I think that this might be a good
Other
option.
states are using them in gyms, as well as daycares and stuff like that.
Protect everybody.
And the best thing about it, if you all would decide, we don't have to right now, if you don't want to, whatever, he's willing to come down and train the people on what to do.
Could all the women who want to
That's
be
cool.
blondes that can't get to the,
Beauty shop?
hair and be turned blonde?
Let the minutes reflect that question.
Well, that peroxide does a lot of things, so.
Jim, you and I will do that.
Yeah, right, we'll test it.
Oh, boy. Are there any more questions? I mean, do you all have anything else you'd like to ask?
Yeah, do you have any idea what the maximum size of a room you could do with, say, one machine?
Yeah, so the machine itself can do up to 10,000 cubic.
10,000.
And you're only limited on that based off of the capacity the machine can hold. It can only hold 1 gallon.
Okay.
It can also clean mold, can it? Is that true?
I'm sorry.
Can it clean mold?
Yes.
Mold
Yeah,
space?
absolutely can.
Sheriff, did you have any questions? Because
Well, I just, we just got this money about a week ago, and there's been so much controversy, and the governor says something, and the news comes back, and we get a letter from the governor very explicit of what we can buy it with, and this would very much qualify for that. But Bartersville, Milton, Sheriff's Office, we're not working overtime with the corona. We work overtime based on wrecks and criminal investigations and things like that. So us giving each one of these police departments, if we follow those guidelines that were set forth in that letter, they can't spend it for that because we're not working overtime. Our call volume is about 40% of what it was before, and Gordon's is too. Now, granted, Gordon touched, if it's something to do with Corona, he's got his hands on it. We necessarily don't have it from time to time, but, you know, and we just talked to Abraham again on the phone, and that was like,
For the record, you might want to explain who that is, because we're
The governor's
recording.
attorney.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted it to be on the
He told us yesterday,
audio.
said on TV, for us to call if we had questions, and his explanation today was about as clear as mud too, so, but, and the equipment, I'm not saying about the equipment, but 9/11, everybody remembers that a few years ago. We've probably got $1,500,000 worth of stuff sitting around in EMS stations and fire stations that we bought that is totally useless. These trucks and equipment and things that we spend all this money on, and now 15 years later, we can't even put, hell, the tires are dry rotted on, the batteries are out of them. What do you do? And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I don't think we should go half-cocked and start buying all this equipment that we don't know we're gonna use 2 weeks from now. But it looks good on paper, but if 6 months from now, if it's sitting in a corner and somebody says, what's that thing? I say, well, that's something we bought on the Corona money. I just wanted to be on record so Gordon would know that.
Well, Chuck, his tackle box is what he's worried about.
No, I just,
And I agree with you on a lot you said, but to add to what Chuck just said was, the stuff that was bought after 9/11 saved us. I went and, I still have it, I pulled it out. I have utilized that, the decon kits and things, to protect our employees. That's the reason why I have very little problems. I pulled all that stuff out. There was 160 Tyvek suits and so on, and that's what we've been using to hold us over. Yes, Chuck is right. There are some things that expired off of it, but I pulled every bit of it, and I have reused it, repurposed it. After the Ebola, there was a PAPRS, there was a self-contained isolation chamber that was sent down. I repurposed both those. We've been using those. The PAPRS we've been using. So he's right on a lot of it, but the other side of it is, contrary to what Chuck says, the RRT truck is up and running, the tires aren't flat, the batteries are good, and it does run, and it's at Station 2 if you'd like to drive it.
what about the $1 million truck at the Huntington Fire
Now,
Department?
I can't speak for that. That's
We don't have
I'm
anything to do with
speaking for
that.
the county,
But
the
Yeah.
county.
The thing of it is, what you said is right. It was, most of what we've utilized is PPE.
Right.
And after this is over, we're gonna have PPE stacked to the ceiling everywhere.
Yeah, but we got a bigger problem, Chuck,
We're gonna be
is
falling all
what's
over.
gonna happen in this fall? This fall, what's gonna happen? Are you sitting here saying,
Depends on who you listen to.
well, I agree with you there, but common sense has gotta prevail. We're gonna have flu A and B, there's no doubt
We
about
had
that.
more people die of flu A and B in this United States than died from Corona now. We're not worried about it.
I don't disagree. But the problem is, the corona kinda kicks you a lot harder than flu A and B.
Yes.
And we have no defense to it at this point in time.
They missed the
Don't you love
they
listening
missed,
to us?
well, they missed the AB, they, every
Sounds
year
like a
they missed the
911
flu
meeting.
shot. Tell me the last time they got the flu shot right.
I get it.
They
What?
never did right.
I think Mike wants to say
I
something.
have another question, I'm sorry, I don't know your ranking.
Get started first class.
Sergeant, we talk about 10,000 square foot for a room, for
Cubic.
instance, or cubics. How long would it take, how long does that theoretically take to do?
We haven't done a room that large yet.
Let's say half of that, because it'd be more than.
But yeah, so the biggest room we've done it would be our 40-foot Connex,
Mhm.
which is roughly 3,000 cubic feet. And that takes about a 20-minute fog time and then a 30-minute cure time, and then it aerates out.
Okay, that's quick. The reason I asked was, I mentioned the other day when we discussed that one of my biggest concerns is that we get this virus in our room, in our operations room at the 911 center, which would affect all of my personnel. And we'd have to move out of there and somehow decontaminate, which right now we have a source, so we don't have to have this, but I can see where it'd be very beneficial. And that's a sick, you can get EMTs from other locations. In our 911 center, we don't have people that can replace our dispatchers that can work our equipment because they're not all the same in every county. There is a huge learning curve. So we're very concerned, and we've done a lot of things to keep the German out of our place. But if it gets in there, as the sergeant said, he's available now, but if we have a piece of equipment, that would be even more available. So that's my only take on it. I don't care what you do with the money, but that is a really good option for us, if we get in there. And we have 9 people in our administration right now. 8 of them got the flu this year, the actual flu, including myself, so that's also beneficial to be able to clean this area up.
Well, we think that's the most important thing right now, is to sanitize, wash your hands, use the wipes, make sure that you clean everything very well, and this would be a terrific way to do that. And to me, the ambulances need to be clean, police cars need to be clean, there's just too many things that you could use it for. And it can be used long past this coronavirus thing. I was surprised, I thought it was a little more expensive than you said. The biggest one, I guess, the best one
Yes.
is
$21,000.
21. Does the other machine do something that one does not?
The cheaper one,
Mm-hmm.
the only difference is it will not have the extension nozzle attachments, so you can't use it for vehicles or
Okay.
for a police cruiser.
Okay.
Or, so it comes with a tripod, if you get the extension nozzle, which can go like 10 feet tall, so if there's a weird place you need to get into, like an air duct per se, that extension nozzle could be useful for that. Otherwise, the machine itself, you can just place it in a room and it will fall.
Maybe we could try this out in my house.
They do houses.
I've been wanting to see a demonstration.
As far as maintenance on them, I asked about that. We don't know yet, because we've only had the machines for less than 2 weeks, but I reached out to some of the distributors that have had them for years, and they said there's almost no maintenance, because due to the simplicity of the system, there's only like 2 buttons on the top to even mess with, and if it needs to be sent back to the factory, I talked to their VP yesterday, and they're very good with overnighting stuff back and forth. We actually had that issue. But a slight problem with one of the machines, and they had it back to us the next day.
Beat that. Well, so the actual cost, once you purchase the machine, would just be for the hydrogen peroxide that you put in it?
Yes, unless you got their online,
Well, that was
data management.
$1,000,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And if you have an existing iPad, that's what we use, actually, is our iPads to run the software.
Okay.
It's $400 for 4 gallons.
Yes, sir, yeah, about $405 for the 4-gallon case.
Right.
What's the shelf life of the,
When I
Peroxide.
looked, I think it was at least 2 years on the thing.
it's decent? Yeah.
Does anybody have any more questions? Anybody at all?
Good job.
No, I'm good. I said my part.
He's in the back row for a reason.
Well, we appreciate you coming down to enlighten us, because we had a lot of questions, and you've answered those for us, and I do appreciate that.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Absolutely.
You guys do a terrific job. Jim, have you been able to hear most of this? Hey, Jim, are you there?
Remember his phone rang, so
Cut him off. Yeah, I think, good thing you got a quorum.
Hello?
You know, your new fancy phone must cut off after half an hour. It just went dead again.
We thought you did it again. We thought you hung up on us again.
Oh,
Okay.
Did you hear most of that conversation, Jim? I know it's hard to hear when you're on the phone.
yeah, I got to, you asked if anybody had any more questions.
Yes.
And, yeah, there was a lot of questions, but I guess that covered all of them.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. You all have any thoughts about what you'd like to do, or?
Is that
Yes,
something that has to go on an agenda, or is it
No,
something
it says discussion
no,
action,
yeah, we have discussion action on the agenda.
so you can
I
take
think
action.
the concern was it might take us a little while to get it, so we probably, if we're gonna do it now.
There's about a 1 to 2 week lead time on them currently.
Well, that's not bad.
I mean, my questions were satisfied, and I think that this will benefit, you know, not only the first responders, but our school children and our senior centers, and I think that it could, you know, have a lot of broad protection, and, you know, the sergeant,
Thomasek,
he answered a lot of my questions, so I'm prepared to vote yes on at least just one machine. Will we have to have the the exact amount to approve it, or just say we approve it with the knowledge of what this is?
Right, yeah, I think you could, you know, it's the 21,000 and buying the
$1,000.
materials as well,
and the
but I
material.
mean, you don't have to, you either just make a motion to purchase the machine and its supplies.
And I know we have a lot of time to spend this money, I think, till the end of December, but this is emergency money for an emergency situation, and I think spending a small percentage of it, at least now, would be a positive thing, and so I would make a motion to approve this expenditure for the nozzle machine, with the $21,000 machine, and then, some,
And the
I don't know how
supplies.
many, I don't know how many gallons we would want to order
Well, they
right
can
off the
figure
bat,
that out.
but I make that motion.
second?
Motion's been made and it's been seconded. Well, it might be interesting to see if this works extremely well, we might need a couple more if we want to take care of school buses or TTA buses or helping the community out.
Daycare.
So I think that's something we need to take a look at too, but start with the one and see how you like it and how it works, and then we'll go from there.
I know that Brian was telling me they're looking at possibly expanding into nursing homes, but unfortunately, nursing homes is an area which really blindsided everyone across the United States. That's probably where we have our highest concentration around here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we missed. That's all there is to it. We missed it. And we've got a lot of people exposed.
Well, we can't do it all with one machine, but we can start with one and see how it works and then move on. Irv?
I know you have a motion, it's probably out of order, but I have a question now. Are we only talking about cleaning things that have transported someone that's already tested positive? Because we just talked
No.
about, we're just going to.
Cleaning in
start
general.
Just cleaning.
This is proactive. These are I'm gonna send every ambulance through. Now, the question is, did the ambulance have someone in them?
That's what my question-
Possibly. they
You don't
could
know.
have. You don't know. Did the TTA bus have someone in them? Good possibility.
'Cause so many
It's
people
just
have it and
like
don't
me
know
coming
it.
into your office.
Well, I know that, I'm just thinking
How
that,
long
you know,
does
we
it
could,
last? If you decontaminate it,
until I come back in.
the
Until-
next
until it-
morning,
next-
somebody comes and hacks and coughs all over it, you wanna decon a bus every night? There's not enough hours in a day to do buses, ambulances, police cars.
Well, those were just some ideas that we might like to do if we expand to more machines. I don't think one machine's gonna do all that.
Running the machine.
Who,
Who's gonna take care of it and manage it and run the machine?
probably Steve.
He ain't got enough to do, I'm sure.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Chuck's not in favor of mine.
I know. Anyhow, we have a motion on the floor, and it has been seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you again so very much.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is an agreement for use of the courthouse grounds permit, National Day of Prayer, May 7th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
With that motion, and it's subject to change, it's just that it had to be, approved today since May 7th is the date, and we won't have another meeting. And, it could be that it's just gonna be broadcast, live over the internet, but, so that could be subject to change, it just depends on how things go with the pandemic. So.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
Second.
has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We need to place on record minutes to be recorded from Pea Ridge PSD regular board meeting, February 10th, 2020. Other documentation to be recorded would be Pea Ridge PSD field report and manager's report for January 2020, Pea Ridge PSD general ledger balance sheet and income statement, period 8, year ending 2020.
Move to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Do we have any commissioners' representation reports?
I have a question or two.
Okay?
Did everybody get a letter from CISO about their issue that, using the term we don't like to use, hero pay request? And is that something we can do now, or should it be on an agenda, or what?
It would have to be on an agenda, but I don't think that's something we can do. We need to we need to look at that. It just came, or I just saw it.
Yeah,
And
okay, well-
they're talking about their payroll and their employees, so we really
Yeah.
need to look into that to see what we can and can't do.
I'm getting inundated with requests from like home health care people and, you know, retail people on the front lines, and so I'm getting a lot of emails.
We're getting requests from private businesses, we're getting requests from individual people that want their share of the money. So there's a lot going on out there.
Yes.
And we have to include the municipalities, of which, you know, we have 3 in Cabell County, so.
I don't think that CISO asked for this money. They asked for senior levy money. Am I right, Jim?
I didn't hear all that, so.
I said, I think CISO asked for money from the senior levy. They did not ask for money, this money we're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about. Right,
Oh.
No, it's
I thought you
from
meant
the
this
senior
one.
level.
right. That's why I was concerned about the use of it. It's
Yeah.
not this money.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, can we put it on the agenda so we can hash it out next time?
Well, it would have to be on there before we can vote on it, so yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then, I guess, did, the radio museum, we all got a copy of that, and they got either sent the proper thing, or it all came with it, or something?
I don't know. I looked at the cover letter, and that's as far as I got.
Okay. And
It just
the
came
other
to-
thing is, just for, because I know you're missing seeing my shining head, is everybody wearing masks, or not, in the
No.
meeting?
No, is anyone in the room that has on a mask?
I
Oh,
see.
except the guy from the TV station.
Irv's got one around his neck.
WSAZ.
Compromise.
Yeah, the
Irv
guy
has
from
one around his neck.
WSAZ has a mask and a beard.
If you turned on the peroxide machine, then in that case.
Hers gonna,
That's right.
hers gonna rob us, I think that's.
Mine's in my purse if that counts.
I don't think that counts. But these requests for money are coming in because this is the time of the year that we get those requests, 'cause,
Right.
yeah. But anyway, anything
Okay.
else you'd like to ask?
No, did everybody see that Senator Plimal's mother died?
I
No,
did,
I did
and I
not.
feel terrible about not being able to show your respect by going to the funeral home. She was a lovely lady. I just loved her. She was a really good school teacher.
Yeah. So,
Anything for the good and welfare of Cabell County? Hearing none, the meeting will be adjourned as soon as we sign all the necessary paperwork. Thank you all very much for being here.
Sergeant.